Hi, welcome to Pleasure Sports. Today we're going to take a look at the EX3 Free Dive Body Glove Camouflage Wetsuit. It comes in two styles. It comes in a optional hood, and it comes with an actual integrated hood. We're going to take a look at the one without the hood first. If you want to take a look here, you have an optional hood that you can purchase. It's a 6.5 millimeter diving hood. They make one density, 6.5 millimeters. And it has a nice skirt on it that goes underneath the collar. And it's also plush lined, so it actually generates heat and is super warm. And it has 3 pinholes, so it's a vented hood. So if you have air trapped in the hood when you're underwater, it actually has some escape holes to come out of the top. So you can buy this hood separately for around $29 on the web. Okay. So this is the Free Dive EX3 Body Glove Camouflage Wetsuit. It comes in a 3 millimeter thickness, and it also comes in a 5 millimeter thickness. The 3 and 5 millimeter wetsuits are identical in construction, so we won't have to show differences between the 3 and the 5 because they're the same. If we look right in the center of this wetsuit, we'll see a loading pad, and this loading pad is actually for loading your spearfishing gun. If you're a spearfisherman, underwater, you can put the back of the gun on your chest and you can use this as a loading pad. So it's super convenient and it takes the pressure off your sternum underwater. Over here on the left, you'll take a look at the interior of this wetsuit, and you can see that pad. It's 5 millimeters thick, just the pad alone. So you've got 10 millimeters in the chest of thickness just for the pad, and this is the interior of that pad in particular. If we come back over here to the front of the wetsuit, I'm going to point out a few things that are really exceptional in the design of this wetsuit. The seamless design along the side body is superior. And what that actually allows you to do is to be able to stretch this high-end neoprene in a variety of ways that if you had this seam continue over, you would have some restrictions. So it's a really great design. This high-end super stretch neoprene is integrated throughout the wetsuit in key areas. In the shoulders, behind the leg, and in the lower back. Do you like how I slapped myself there? Back here in the lower back. You've got a short zipper in the back, which is great, and you've got this really great panel in the low back that was added. And again, it's a piece of super stretch neoprene. And what happens is, as we bend and articulate our body above and below water, we actually have this panel that actually takes the pressure out of these key seams, which are actually the stress points in wetsuits that can break down quickly. And they've done a really great, innovative job of putting this panel in and using a high-end piece of material here. The last thing I want to take a look at with this particular wetsuit is the seals. It's the neck seal, the wrist, and the ankle seals. This is what's called a glide skin seal. This glide skin material actually creates a water barrier, and how it does that is it sticks to your skin, and so your skin and the glide skin make a seal, and water doesn't keep flushing through the wetsuit, therefore you stay warmer. If we take a look at the interior of this wetsuit quickly, we'll see that glide skin interior collar. We'll see it at the wrist. We'll also see it at the ankles. The other thing that we'll see on the inside of this is this really great material. It's called thermolite fiber, a fancy name for a material that actually has a great function, which is it heats up against your chest and your back, which is the core of your body, which is what you want to stay warm. And what it also does is it wicks away water. It's a type of material that has a wicking effect. And you'll see that on the chest, and you'll also see it along the back. You'll also see a little keyhole here as well. The last thing I want to talk about is the seam construction of this wetsuit. It's been first glued 3 times, and then it's actually been blind stitched. And you can see that blind stitching here on the exterior. And why you don't see it on the interior is the blind stitch doesn't penetrate both pieces of neoprene. It actually only goes halfway through the neoprene so that it doesn't create pinholes through the suit. And if you have a pinhole in a suit and you start stretching at it, water's going to go through. So you want a blind stitch suit if you're in colder waters, and you want a sealed seam suit so water's not continually flushing in and out of there. Okay? So that's the first version. That's the non-hooded version of the EX3 Free Dive Body Glove Camo Wetsuit. Now we're going to take a look at the 543 Camo Wetsuit, and we're going to jump right to the interior of this wetsuit. because that's one of the main differentiating factors, other than the integrated hood, between this particular wetsuit and the other one. They're both the free dive. This one's got a seam, a welded seam, different from the construction we just saw earlier. This suit has been glued, blind stitched, and then given a welded seam. And what that does is it adds extra durability along the seam and extra water tightness. This particular wetsuit is made of three different thicknesses of neoprene. Did I say that right? The chest is actually 5mm thick neoprene, and then as you get on the side bodies, you're looking at 4mm neoprene, and as you're getting in the low articulation of the arm, you're looking at 3mm neoprene. And why they've actually done that is they've picked the key areas that you want to keep super warm and kept those areas thicker. And then the areas that you really want a lot of mobility in and flexibility, they've put in high-end pieces of neoprene, and they've also changed the thickness. So this back calf area, for example, is a 3mm neoprene. So it's a super great design. The other thing that you'll notice is that it's a top entry wetsuit. What that means is you enter through the top. And why they've designed this top entry to begin with is if you have less seams in a wetsuit along the back, you have more flexibility. So if we had a zipper here, we wouldn't be able to stretch the wetsuit as easily, and we wouldn't be as comfortable. So what you're starting to see now is a trend in top entry wetsuit design. And how you enter a top entry wetsuit is I go in and I actually grab the armpits of the interior and I pull them out, and I turn my wetsuit into basically a pair of wetsuit pants, as you can see here. And I go ahead and put my legs in, and then I wedge the suit up to my chest, and then I stick my arm in here, and I stick my other arm in, and then I take my time and I put the hood, when I'm ready, over the back part of my head and over, and then I zip. So that's the top entry of this particular wetsuit. Again, on the interior of this wetsuit, it also has the thermolite fiber, the wicking away fiber, and the heat creating fiber. It also has a great adjustable cord here so that you can keep this nice and tight so that water doesn't get through the sides as well. So super great wetsuit, two different styles, hooded, non-hooded, 5.4 3mm, 3mm, and also the 5mm. So enjoy and check out all their camouflage products and wetsuits and free diving gear on pleasuresports.com.